I've been wanting to make a cross stitch video for a while, but I feel a little awkward about making a video about cross stitching, but then I've had so much fun watching many of your guys' videos on Flosstube and on the Facebook pages, and I just thought, you know, why not? People put all sorts of stuff on YouTube, so why not cross stitching, right? Welcome, Stitchy friends. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Mary. I'm the Daydream Stitcher, and this is my channel about cross stitch. Whether you're just joining me for the first time today or you've been with me for a while, I'm just really happy to have you here with me today. Today is March 25th, 2022, and I'm super excited because today is my 7-year anniversary on Flosstube. I can't believe it. That's right. I first posted my very first Flosstube #1 on March 25th, 2015. And if you've only been with me maybe like in the last year or two on this channel, that might be a little confusing. So I used to post my Flosstube videos over on my other channel, Mary Beasley, which was the only channel I had at that time. I mean, YouTube was a little bit different then, I think, or at least I didn't know about or wasn't really aware of having different channels. And I posted a lot of random things over there, and I was posting pictures of my kids, videos of my kids when they were little. And I posted, some piano covers when I was messing around on the piano and just some different things that I was into. And some of those were cross-stitch videos, but it wasn't real consistent and it wasn't the same thing all the time. So I thought a couple of years ago, I decided to move over to a new channel with a dedicated stitching name and a dedicated stitching content playlist. And here I am. And unfortunately, I can't move over those old videos and have the same timeline. So they still remain back on the other channel, but I do number my videos from that first video. I wasn't real consistent, but I have been making floss tubes throughout, but sometimes that looked like a couple in a year. It wasn't, I don't have like a ton of them, but I never like went through a period of actually stopping doing my cross stitch videos. Sometimes it was just a longer period in between. That's how I look at it anyway. I'm trying to be more consistent now and post more regular updates. So anniversary time means giveaway time. So stay tuned if you might be interested in that. And keep in mind, please, that I'm only interested in giving these goodies away to my subscribers and people that watch my channel, and not just random drive-bys that don't cross stitch. So please keep that in mind. Now I'm going to get into my stitching, and then I'll talk later about what I'm going to do to celebrate my anniversary with you guys. So the first thing that I will talk about is, what have I been stitching since my last update? It's been a couple weeks since my last update. I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head. I know that this is Flosstube 41. So that's better, right? And that I know the number I'm on. That's better than usual. I do want to say a couple of things. I think I'm going to save them for after showing the whips, because I want to get right into the whips, and then I think I'll ramble after that. So if you just here for the whips, here we are. For whip go, the two, I don't remember the numbers that were called for March, but I do know what they were on my board. So I had Historical Women, which is what this looks like, and I did not stitch it on Historical Women. I pulled her out. I pulled them out. And I looked at them and I pulled my flosses that I needed to finish Marie Antoinette and start Jane Austen. And then I got sidetracked with other whips and I didn't work on her at all. Well, them. So I have nothing to show that's new since the last time I showed this piece. So hopefully next time I will have some Jane Austen going on, but for now I don't. I did put a little bit of my other whip go piece that was my treasure hunt bookshelf. And my goals for this year was to work 15 hours on each of my pieces that I have on my whip go board throughout the year. So I've only gotten 2 in, so there's really not that much difference since I last showed this. I'm gonna pop up, at some point here, I'm gonna pop up the full picture and then where I was last time that you saw this. And then I'll show you where I am now. But like I said, 2 hours doesn't get me very far, and I was watching Flosstube at the same time. And those of you that watch Flosstube know that you can stitch at the same time, but then you're always needing to look, especially when you're watching. I was watching some whip parades that I hadn't caught up on, and so it was constantly like stitch and then look and then stitch and then look. So it was slow going, but I'm still counting it as 2 hours. So hopefully this will focus. I see people do this. Should I do this? Is this better? I don't know. This is stitched on 25 count even weave on, I think it's called Magic Grid. I bought this fabric from so-and-so in the UK just before they went under and closed. And the version of this chart is called the Color Expansion. So it's not max color, but it's not the regular version either. It's the regular size, not super size, but it's the Color Expansion. So it does have a few more colors than the regular chart. And all I got done just a couple days, I pulled it out because I thought, oh, if I make an update, I better have something on one of my WhipGo projects for March. So I worked here primarily. I got a few more things filled in over here, and I discovered that I am off somewhere up in here. And so that's fun, and I'm hoping that won't come back to bother me too much. Usually I fudge around it, but on a chart like this, I don't know if that's gonna work. So then I skipped down and I worked on this part down here. I put in this black while I was watching Mad Morty's channel, and I was able to stitch that and listen to them, and enjoyed that thoroughly. Mad Morty. See, now I feel like Morty is not her name, like it's a nickname. Am I right in that? I went back and reviewed #1 and I still missed it. I know that her husband is David, and she and her husband are great fun to watch. I really highly recommend that you go check them out because I watch all of their uploads, and I don't know that I've given them a shout out. So I'm sorry for that because I keep meaning to. And they are just absolutely lovely. They're from the UK, so they've got the awesome accents, but also they are adorable together. Like the two of them, the way that they interact, hashtag relationship goals for sure. I think that every video. It's amazing. So I got sidetracked and I didn't work on I did 2 hours on that bookshelf, and then I didn't work on anything else on my WhipGo. But that's okay because I did stitch. So currently on my Q-Snap I have Modern Folk Embroidery, Fruits of Plenty, hashtag Still Fresh Fruit, that Crisscross Stitch and Kathy from To Dye House have going on Instagram. And I'm working this on a 36 count 2/2 with 799 and 3750 DMC. And I was just thinking this morning, I was working on this at the park this morning when my daughter was in her book club. And I was thinking, I'm not sure that I'm loving doing 2/2 and 36. I mean, I do 2 strands on 18 count, which is essentially the same size, but it's getting really bulky and my stitches are not neat. So if you see this on Instagram and you zoom up, the stitches are pretty sloppy. And I think I'm just going in maybe on the linen. This linen is called Silver Moon by Zweigart, and I love it. It's a great linen, but I don't know if the 2 strands on it are just too bulky because it's bulking up. And I think I would have, if I was to redo it, I would have done 1/1, which would have been more lacy, but I think I would have liked the way that it laid better. But at any rate, I still really like it. I still think it's just absolutely gorgeous. I was hoping to have February done by the time I showed this on video, but alas, as you can see, it's not. But I did make progress, and I'm hoping that the heart will be done by the end of this weekend because I plan to work on this again after this video. Y'all are posting all these videos like coming up, and so now I have this long list of Flosstube to catch up on, always, and more coming all the time. This one was from my February WhipGo, and I didn't show it last time, and so I'm going to show it now because I do have some progress on it since I last showed it. This is Do Different from Long Dog Samplers, and it is stitched, well, I'll post a picture of where it was the last time I showed it, and then here's where it is now with dog hair. And this is stitched on, off the top of my head, can I remember? This is a 25 count, 1/1, 310, DMC 310, all in black. I should probably write all of this down because I'm just pulling from my head as I go and it doesn't always work right. So, but yeah, that I'm enjoying, and I did finish my Whip Go plans for February on this one, so I was able to check that one off. I also pulled out my Paris in Bloom, which is a Lucas S kit that I absolutely love. This was a birthday start last October, and this is where I was the last time I showed it, and it sat like this for quite a while, and it happened to be handy. The other day, last week, I wanted to do some stitching, and I was trying to get the historical women up and running, and this was calling to me, and it's a kit, so everything was there, and I just went to town on it, and I couldn't put it down, so I stitched on it for several days, and this is where I am now. Am I holding it? No, I'm not holding it the right way. That would help if I would hold it right side up. Let me put it, don't you love how pre-planned I am with these things? I'm so obviously prepared. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Hopefully that's showing up. It's hard for me to tell on the preview when I do this what looks like what, but I love this one. Love it so much. I think it's so pretty. I just love it. And it stitches up pretty quickly because it doesn't have a lot of confetti so far. It's mostly large blocks of color. There's a lot of lines in this for the buildings, a lot of long rows of color. And the flowers and the smaller bits of color are not so much confetti, they're more like small blocks. Like, it makes me think of Tetra blocks, fitting them in different ways. And so I love that, and it tends to stitch up pretty quickly. Just, it takes time to change out the colors and things, but otherwise, I'm really happy with the way that's, the speed that's stitching up. I also pulled out an older kit that is wrinkled, and, well, let's face it, that's nothing new. This one's called A Treasured Time, and it is a dimensions kit. Thanks to my friend Amanda, who's Lucky Chance Stitcher. She helped me get some my symbols back that I had lost. I lost the page. I actually found it. It actually turned up, the original. But she was able to scan and help me get back on track because I had the chart for a long time and I didn't have the symbol paper. So I'm back on track, and here's where I worked. Here's where I got. I'm going to do this arm over maneuver here again. I worked right here. Mostly I worked filling in some of this tree and some sky, and I worked on this building here. And that was all I put in, but I really enjoyed it. I love it. Love, love, love this piece. I also worked a little bit on my nativity that I've shown in older videos, but I don't have it in here to show. I've been doing a technique on it that has really been helping me with speeding things up. And so I'll show that next time, and I would like to share that and hopefully have more done to show on that. I'm hoping for a finish on my nativity this year. Now I just have a little bit of haul to show. For market this year, I wanted to order all the things. Who doesn't? So many beautiful releases this year, as usual. But I had to limit myself for right now because I'm trying to be careful with my extra spending. So I did order 2 things from crossstitchingsupplies.com. My friend Lindsay over there is wonderful. I highly recommend that website for mail order. I ordered, let's see, I'll start with this one. I ordered the Plum Street samplers, This Is the Day, which it says, "This is the day that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." And I love the brick house on it. I think the brick house is everything. I love it. I can't wait to stitch that brick house. And I ordered Matter in Hand from Jeanette Douglas Design. This is cross stitch theme. different motifs about cross stitch. And it is, I'm blocking my light there in the dark. And so it's got cross stitch in different languages. And my friend Beth, who's the Steadfast Stitcher here on YouTube and Instagram, who's also wonderful, please go give her a hello if you haven't yet. She also bought this, and so we have talked about starting this together on May the 1st, and she has a hashtag, and of course I should have written this down, and I don't have the hashtag in front of me. I will post it below, and I will put it on the video when I edit. I will find it. She's hashtagging it. So, and also many of you know Maria at Cup of Stitches, who is from Ukraine originally and was recently there in the capital city when the war broke out. And she will be joining us, and we've talked about putting Ukrainian in there. We talked about replacing the Russian word for cross stitch with the Ukrainian word for cross stitch. It's essentially the same alphabet. I was kind of hoping to be able to put both in, because I don't necessarily, I mean, we have some great Russian stitchy friends, and I feel like a lot of Russians are not responsible for what's going on over there, particularly Russian cross stitchers. They have nothing to do with this crisis. And I wanted to include both, but I haven't figured out like how I would do that, because there's not a lot of extra room. So that's still to be decided. But we will be starting that on May 1st, and I will put the hashtag here and down in the description box below, and we'd love to have you join us for that. In my last Flosstube update, number 40, I mentioned that I regularly experience anxiety and depression, and that's something that I live with daily. And so many of you responded to that in such a positive way. I heard from so many people, both in the comments, in the video itself, and I also received a lot of messages on Instagram from people saying that they experienced the same thing and that they appreciated, you know, just talking about it. One friend even said that she's never actually admitted to anyone that she experiences those things, and that I was the first person that she was telling, and that's huge. Like, that means so much that she would be comfortable enough to share that with me. And then we talked about like next steps and like, you know, being okay with getting help. And I don't really know exactly what to say about that, except that I wanted to call attention to it and just say that I'm glad that it resonated with so many people, and to remind us all again that we are not alone with any of these things, and that we can reach out and talk to one another. Please, anytime. I'm serious. Like, I know some of you that talk to me on Instagram are going to say, no, she doesn't respond right away. But like, do please reach out to me anytime if you just need to vent or chat or whatever. I will get back to you. I'm slow sometimes, so that's nothing personal at all. But sometimes I don't even go on Instagram for a couple of days just because I'm doing other things. So, but I'm always delighted to hear from you all whenever I have messages. It's always a great thing. And to each other, talk to, you know, find a therapist. Now there are so many like great therapists online, and we can talk to them right through our phones or our computers. I just started, actually just like 3 weeks ago, I started with my own therapist. And it's been so great just to be able to have somebody to talk to and who is able to listen in a therapeutic way. And so I highly encourage anyone who maybe would just, for whatever reason, would appreciate having someone to talk to look into doing that, and to talk to each other, and not to be embarrassed about it, because I would say the majority of us, particularly those of us who cross stitch, are going through anxiety and depression at least some of the time. I mean, that's just being human. You're not human. You're a robot if you don't feel that. So that's my little thing. The other thing is, I had such a great response to my last video called 22 Flosstubers to Watch in 2022. That was just a fun little thing that I threw together. Yes, it was a long time consuming process. It took quite a while, but I really had fun making it. It was super fun. The only thing was, I felt bad leaving anyone out. I wanted to just be like, here's all the Flosstubers, like they're all wonderful and they're all great. And so people that didn't get into that video, it was nothing personal at all. It was just like I randomly picked people that I always watch, but there's many more that I watch, and there's many more that you watch, and the response has been so great. And a couple of people have said that they're thinking about making their own list, their own video. I know Stitchy Witch 42, Audrey, she listed, you know, she just read through her list on her channel, which is great, and then she listed them below. And I thought that was so great. I love that people are getting inspired to do that. I can't wait to hear what's coming up from each of you, like who you recommend. I've also had a couple of requests, quite a few actually, to make more videos like that. And so I'm hoping to do that, and I look forward to making that. And I'm listening to all of your suggestions about who to include. And I'm trying to decide, do I make like a bunch of shorter videos, or do I put more in together and make a longer video? I haven't quite decided yet the format of that. I mean, it'll be similar with video clips, but I don't know if I'm going to make like 10 at a time and then do more, or like do like 50 at a time. I don't know. I think I need to do smaller chunks, right? That's better. That's probably what I'm going. So life is life. The only thing I have to say about that is I am in a community orchestra that I have often referenced, which has been like such a blessing for me in this time. It's so great to get out of the house and convene with people, like-minded people who play music that I haven't been around in like years and years and years. It's so much fun, so amazing. There's so many different levels there, abilities, and we just started rehearsing Broadway musicals, and I love Broadway musicals. I'm just so excited. Except I had to laugh because the first time we ran through, we were doing a Les Mis medley. I mean, they're all medleys, right? And we're doing Les Mis, and we were on I Dreamed a Dream. And I'm just like wailing away, like I'm so into this music, and just like, this is so wonderful, like this is my favorite. And then our conductor, like, he's like, stop, and he's like, strings, be careful that you don't, pull that out. And like, I forget exactly what word he used, but he was basically saying, you're slowing everybody down because you're just so into the music, and you're just like milking it for all it's worth and pulling the notes out like taffy, and you've got to keep up with the tempo. And I was like, yeah, I feel seen. Like that was me. That was completely me. Like I was just like doing a solo and like bringing everybody back, because I was just like, the diva on Broadway or whatever, like my dreams. Singing in the shower. Why am I even saying this? I don't know. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, and it's fun because one of the people that sits so close to me, she's never heard any of this music before. So yeah, it's new to her. So I'm like, go watch this and watch this version, and this production's the one you gotta watch, and don't watch this movie, but watch this stage production. And I'm a musical theater nerd. What can I tell you? So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I'm so glad for that opportunity to be able to be part of that and get to create music like that together with these other people. And so that's my life update for this week. And now we're gonna do some giveaways. Yay, I'm excited. So it's been 7 years, and I debated on, I wanted to do a bunch of giveaways, and I was even thinking like, I'm gonna do like 7 giveaways for 7 years. Those crazy, you remember, if you're of a certain age, if you're of my generation, back in the 80s and the 90s, these local, I don't think they still do them, but I don't watch TV, like Standards TV anymore. I just watch the streaming ads. But they used to have, like the local car lot or the local used appliance store, and it would be like, come on down, Crazy Owl has like got, he's gone crazy, and like everything's on sale, like 30% off, quick, come, and like, get the deals before he realizes that he's gone nuts. And so I was thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna do 7 things on this one video, and it's gonna be like, yeah, like 7, wow, crazy. But then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna slow it down, and I got the things to give away, but I'm going to sparse them out. So I'm gonna do 3 giveaways today. And then I do have more things to give away during the rest of the year. So stay tuned, because I do love to do giveaways. So I will be offering these things up. And I want to show you what I have today. Now, if you watch much Flosstube, you know the things. You must be over 18 so that you can send me your address, because I will be physically mailing these to you. And you must be a subscriber to my channel. You must like this video, and you must comment the word below that I give you for each thing. You may enter 1 giveaway or all 3, but I'd like to send them to 3 different people. So I'll be drawing separately for each one. So good luck. Here comes Crazy Mary's big giveaway. It's not that crazy though, is it? It's only 3 things, so yeah, it's not, kind of loses its effect. Maybe I'll do 4. Should I do 4 things? I don't know what I should do. The first thing I want to show you is this Country Cottage Needleworks Summer. It's just called Summer. It's part of their seasonal celebration series. And this is Summer, of course. And I thought it was just really adorable. It's something that I had in my stash, and it has a banner that says Summer. And then it has, it says swimming, sunshine, picnics, grass, lemonade, vacation, with some flowers and a little yellow house and some beehives, I think those are. So if you would like to win this chart, please use the word summer, oddly enough. Summer in your comment below. You can put it in a creative sentence, or you can just write the word summer. I really don't care, but I do love seeing what sentences you guys come up with, because there's some really creative uses there for that. So I love that. I thought it would be fun to do some seasonal things, because hey, they are coming up before you know it. And we know that if you watch Chris Cross Stitch, last year he did the Spooky Summer Stitch, so I'm sure he'll be doing that again in just a couple of months. So I'm offering this Halloween House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. Hope I have that right. Yeah, so it's all 3 of these cute little houses. Hopefully you can see those. And let's see, what are they? It says 4.5 by, or 4 1/4 by 5.5 on 14 count, or 28 count. So love those, love my houses. So if you want to win that, please use the word trio, T-R-I-O, trio. And then in my paper pattern stash video that I posted a couple of videos ago, where I was going through some of my paper patterns to organize them, I talked about how much I love Stoney Creek, and how they get kind of like some slack because of how, you know, some people feel like they look old-fashioned. I love my Stoney Creek. So I want to show some Stoney Creek love to those of you that also love Stoney Creek, and I want to offer this one called Rejoice Tree for Christmas. And it's just a simple pattern of a green kind of folksy tree with the word rejoice, and then it says peace, hope, love, joy. So that's giveaway number 3, and that is let's use the word tree, T-R-E-E. Let's go with that, shall we? Aha, you know what, it's my anniversary. I'm gonna go for the 4th one, because I forgot that I got this, and I want to get it away because I think it's great. And it's springtime, so let's do a springtime theme. I have a little Mill Hill kit here I'd like to share with someone. This is part of their Garden and Gnomes series, and this is called Beehive House. And it's a little beehive with bees buzzing around and flowers. It's got a lot of floss, so I think it's minimally beaded. It looks like it has a little heart charm on the door. And it comes with the pattern, the floss, the beads, and the perforated paper to do it on. Actually, are they all beads? Because it says counted glass bead kit. I've never done one like this before. I've done some of the some mill hills before, but I don't remember that they were entirely beaded, like some of the little houses and things like that. Yeah, there's not enough on here to do Foley beads. Boy, I'm really showing my mill hill expertise here. Pardon me, those of you who are mill hill, you know, aficionados or whatever. Anyway, if you want it, please use the word beehive. B-E-E-H-I-V-E. Beehive. All one word. And that's my giveaway for today for my 7 years. And even Pumpkin's getting in on the action, you know? That's my old kitty cat Pumpkin. She's good. She sounds like she's not good, but I promise you she is. She just came in this room a little bit ago, was hanging out with me, and now she wants to go back. I have the door shut. Usually the door is open into this room. This is kind of our bone. We used to call this the playroom. And now the kids are like, well, it's not a playroom anymore. We're too old. My youngest is 10. So we're trying to come up with, what is it? Is it a family room? Is it just, I could just call it the bonus room. You know, the library, I don't know. But anyway, that's the point being that she normally sleeps out in our kitchen area in her bed. Her bed and her bowls are out there. And she's deaf and she's blind, but she gets along really well. She's almost 16 years old, but she gets around really well. I mean, she still smells, and it's amazing how well she navigates, not being able to hear or see. But she's awesome. And that's her just being like, open the door and let me go back to my bed and sleep for a while now. I'm done in here. So, okay, well, I think that's it. I think this should be a relatively short video, and I thank you for joining me so much. I really appreciate you spending some time with me today. I always have a great time sharing what I'm doing, and I can't wait to hear from you in the comments, and I can't wait to do the giveaway and hopefully bring you some more Flosstubers to enjoy. Thank you all so much. Have a great weekend. Happy stitching. Someone's doing target practice really close to my house. You probably can't hear it, but somebody's shooting a gun, and it's making me a little unstitched. So I'm off to stitch. Again, happy stitching.